We've told you before that the Scholastic Clay Target Program is the most successful youth shooting program ever created. More than 10,000 youngsters will be out shooting trap and skeet this year in SCTP teams across the nation. But the program has now produced something more. Our first world record holder has come out of the Scholastic Clay Program, and he's quite likely to be a gold medalist at the next Olympics. He's Vincent Hancock from Eatonton, Georgia. That's where Mike Irvine spent some time with him to bring us a Shooting USA profile.
If you come across this house in the middle of Georgia, you won't notice anything unique about it until you look inside. You'll see an average-looking teenager with a far from average talent. This is Vincent Hancock, a high school senior with a collection of world-class shooting awards and a dream of one more, an Olympic gold. Everyone dreams of Olympic glory. Well, for skeet shooting phenom Vincent Hancock, that dream is very close to becoming a reality. A journey which began several years ago with the Scholastic Clay Target Program. Vincent is likely the most decorated shooter to come out of the SCTP, a widely successful program that introduces youngsters to shooting.
It's really nice because instead of shooting, with some other guys, that are 30 or 40 years old that have been doing this for a long time, you get to be around people that's your own age, that have played other sports, that you can interact with, and it makes it for a very good scene.
And it didn't take long for Vincent's abilities to show. Medals and trophies started filling up the Hancock's house. And with every victory, his father saw the desire for greater success grow stronger.
Once he felt a little bit of success, his training came alive. And when he started really training on a daily basis, constantly, and it was structured training, not just coming out and playing. He was coming out and everything we did was structured. And it just came alive. And by the time he was 15 there, he was shooting awesome.
Shooting so well, Dad decided to take Vincent's game to the next level, giving him this, an international skeet range in his backyard. What seems like a huge gift wasn't surprising to Vincent. He's always had this kind of support from his family.
And everything that I've ever done, they've always been right behind me 100%. If you want to do this, then this is what we want you to do. What we want you to do it with all that you have. We want you to be very successful, as successful as you can be.
With a range in his backyard, training became a regular thing. He and his father spend 7 days a week here. That kind of disciplined practice can be stressful on a family. The Hancocks get through it with a little help from Mom.
Coaching your own kid can be hard, and there's ups and downs to it. We've had a pretty good relationship, and it was a give and take relationship. He knew when to lay off, and I knew when to lay off, basically. And Mom kind of helped keep everything all on the level. A lot of times she'd have to mediate between the two of us even.
The hard work paid off. At 15, Vincent joined the U.S. shooting team and earned gold at his first World Cup. But that was just the beginning. A few months later in Italy, Mother Susan witnessed her son win the World Championship, a moment she'll never forget.
Pure joy. And that's why I started crying and I couldn't stop. Vincent said, "Mom, why are you crying?" I said, "I can't help it."
Mom cried, while Vincent pumped his arms and guns high into the air.
It's just unbelievable that when you walk out on the field with world champions, World Cup champions, Olympic champions, that you actually been out there and you've beat them. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
In his first summer of international competition, Vincent won 4 gold medals, 3 silver medals, set 3 new world records, and solidified a spot for the United States in the 2008 Olympics. That same season, he was named Athlete of the Year by the U.S. shooting team and International Association of Shooting Sports. But Vincent doesn't spend time thinking about past success. Instead, he and his father stay out on the range, now focused on earning the very Olympic spot he gave his country.
It was a lot easier getting the spots than it's going to be to earn them. And that's exactly what we have to do. We have to go shoot and we have to earn them. And there's going to be a lot more pressure there because there's only 2 events that decide whether or not you go to the Olympics or not.
As a possible Olympian, Vincent doesn't have the luxury of free time. And it means he has to be careful of his image, because he now represents the USA.
He has to be very careful about what he goes and does, who he hangs around with. And he's got some good friends. He's got a few good friends. He don't have a lot of friends because he don't have time to have a lot of friends.
Of course, a lot of those good friends are shooters. Teammates likely to provide some friendly competition at the range. So when a game of sporting clays begins, who am I to stand back and watch? And with a world champion and his coach standing behind me, I'm ready to pick up a few pointers.
Okay, miss in front. Miss in front.
Miss in front by a foot. Pull.
Perfect. It's more than you think, isn't it?
It's quite a bit more lead than you realize. It's getting across there a lot faster than you think.
It's more than you think.
Whether it's just out having a little fun or training for upcoming matches, Vincent's used to having his dad nearby. But the opportunity to take his game to the next level will change that. Vincent will soon be the newest member of the Army Marksmanship Unit.
It was pretty phenomenal. I never imagined that I would be shooting with the guys that I always looked up to. When I went to shoots, I said, man, those guys are unbeatable. I mean, how can anybody, be able to beat them when they train every day? They get paid to shoot. It's like, oh man, that's the life I want. Wish I could do that.
Basic training is complete, but the hard work is far from over. With the Olympics in his sights, Vincent is ready to stand on top of the podium next year in Beijing as an Olympic gold medalist.
Thank you, Mike. And we'll let you know how Vincent does in qualifying for his Olympic slot. And we'll keep you posted on all the members of our U.S. team as they get ready for Beijing, China in 2008. Coming next today, not China, but Turkey. We're going to Istanbul next.